Welcome, friends. Today, we are doing another live stream. Welcome, Dev. That's right, today we are doing another live stream, and we have some bad news. It's not Rich Mitch bad news, it's community bad news. I will get to that in a minute, but first I need to go and grab something. So if you give me 2 minutes, I'll be back. I'm back. Did you miss us? Yes. Bad news, unfortunately, friends. I don't know if you saw my community post today, but unfortunately, Alessandro Brun, the founder and I think creative director of Mask Milano Perfumes, has passed away, which is very sad. I have a couple Mask Milanos. One of them is Russian tea, the other is Hemingway. So that is very sad because he was only 50 years old. That is not a long life. That is no age to pass away.
Come on, get the fuck out of my house! Get the fuck out!
What the fuck was that? What's going on over there? Just me mates fucking sent us a video and I've opened it and it was extremely loud. So
The video and I've opened it.
Fuck's sake, it's happened again. Yes, today we will be talking about perfume. Welcome Dropout, welcome Dushan, welcome Saab Replay, Andy, Dev, welcome Dev, it was nice to hear from you today. Drawn by Sense, Ace of Souls, Pulp Femo, MJ, Pradeep. Yes, very sad that Alessandro Brun passed away today. Mask Milano is not a bad brand at all. The scents aren't derivative. They're well made, decent ingredients. I'll never forget when they went from 100ml to 35ml at the same price point. That was, to be fair, he fronted up. I'll give this to him, right? He sat there and explained himself and why he did it on Persilaser's Live, because I asked the question, and other people asked the question as well, to be fair, but he did sit and say, so he had character, you know, and he said, what he said made a lot of sense. He did the same thing Tower did. He didn't put his prices up every year like a lot of companies did. He didn't try to fudge it or bullshit it. He said, this is just what's got to happen. I've got to put the prices up. It's got to go up a lot because I haven't put the prices up every year. In fact, the prices haven't changed for, 5, 6, 7 years at that time. And he said, this is just a realignment. This is just, you can go back and watch the Persilaser stream with Alessandro Brun from Mask Milano. And fair play to him. I respected him for that. I didn't think he was going to die. 50 years old. He looked in rude health. Certainly in all of his pictures, he looks younger than me. You know what I mean? But, what can you do? No, I have no idea how or what happened. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Or nobody said. I think from what I've seen posted on social media, I think it's come as a shock to some people. So he's either had an illness and kept it quiet, or it's been a sudden event. Maybe like an accident or a heart attack or a stroke. Life is fucking, we're all hanging by a thread. You know? We are all hanging by a thread. And he was definitely one of the good, he was definitely on the right side. He was a PhD professor, yeah. He wasn't just some like random tit like me, do you know what I mean? And the fragrances he made were good. You know? They were creative, interesting, novel. He added value to the community. And he had character. And he was able to justify his decisions. He was able to explain himself. And it's a shame. It's a shame, most especially, obviously, the thing you should remember, it's a shame for him, and it's a shame especially for his family. And it's very sad. It is very, very sad. Death is a part of life, an unfortunate part of life, but a part of life it is. And truly, it is the one thing that joins us all together. No matter who you are, doesn't matter what you are, no matter how much money you make, doesn't matter how poor you are, it doesn't matter all that stuff in between, being born and dying is really, it's important, but you will one day face the same fate. So, rest in peace, Alessandro. Monsieur Brun. I may do a review of Russian tea. Because I do love this fragrance. I really do love this fragrance. Mint. raspberry tea, birch. How strange. How very strange. But how good. Julian Rascanet. Oh, I would buy this again. I'm not sure what's going to happen with the brand. Feel a bit weird saying that because, I mean, does it, at this point in time, does it really matter? But is the brand going to go out of business? Hopefully not. Is the brand going to be as good in future? I don't know. I don't know if he was the creative director. I imagine he was the creative director. But we have lost a good one, unfortunately, my friends. I'll say one thing though, the bloody collars on these bloody bottles are shite. Russian tea's really good. Yeah, the collars on these bottles, as good as these bottles are, and they are nice, the collar keeps coming off every time you click the fucking lid on, like. But the fucking magnificent design. Beautiful design. There's more glass than there is juice. You know what I mean? But like I said, I pushed that question on the Persolays interview, and he answered it. And he answered it properly, and he explained why, which a lot of people don't do, you know? I like that 30ml bottles. They're not 30ml, they're 35, aren't they? How big are you? Tell me. Apart from 35ml. That's such a bizarre size. Such a bizarre size. Feels like such an arbitrary size. Why 35? Is there like some sort of symbolism going on there? But then why 30ml? 35ml. They're not 30ml, they're 35ml Central, fuck me. Centrail Station. Sorry. I've completely bollocksed your name there. I liked Russian tea, I liked Hemingway. I was either given a bottle by Peter or he sold me it. I can't remember, it was one of them. Excuse me. But I've got a bottle of Hemingway, which is a vetiver, which is really nice. I mean, why does 30ml make more sense than 35? I don't know that it does. I don't know that 30ml makes more sense than 35. I do know there's something to do with shipping, though, that if a bottle of perfume is over 30 milliliters, it costs more to ship. Something to do with the regulations. Like, I don't know. Just one of those things, isn't it? Like, zoologists do 60ml bottles. Which is an arbitrary thing, because most are 50 or 100. You know? To anyone in the... Excuse me. Oh, dear. Sorry. To anyone in the US waiting on them to restock samples, Histoire de Parfum emailed me saying March was originally January, but what can you do? Who knows? What can you do? Yes, Alessandro Brun. I wasn't majorly into Mask Milano to the point where I was an expert or had spoken to the man or knew him in any capacity, but I always like to, especially people who have contributed to the community, like, you know, like I remember when Paco Rabanne died, I said that on my community post. I posted on my community post when Thierry Mugler died, when Olivier Pachot died. You know, these people have given to the community. I mean, the community's been good to them as well. Do you know what I mean? But they've enriched the community, especially people like Paco Rabanne and Olivier Pachot and oh fuck me, what am I doing? And Thierry Mugler, they've all contributed hugely to the community. And so has Alessandro Brun, you know? He started a brand, a good brand, you know? Made good quality perfumes, interesting perfumes. And now he's gone. And I hope his family and friends all the best. I wish them all the best. I hope they can take some solace in the fact that he had clearly a fucking very full life. PhD, professor, brand founder, travelled the world, became famous, successful brand, interesting, creative. Nice man by all accounts. You don't hear people saying nasty things about him. Vintage Diorella is 112 mil. Is that not something to do with the... Is that not something to do with the metric system, though? Although that is a strange... Like, for milliliters, that is a strange size. Oh, Mas Milano spray is supposed to be amazing. Pass. I don't want to spray it because it is actually quite potent. I might wear that tomorrow now. I did actually wear Secret de Parfum, Opium Secret de Parfum today. Like I threatened to yesterday. I didn't wear Narciso Rodriguez for him because it was such a nice day. Dushan, I've made an Instagram just for you. Haven't used this app in like 7 years, says 8. Yes. Divine, did you know that the founder of Mas Milano had passed away today? Alessandro Brun. Hello, Ivani. Kalashvi. Saw it instantly when they posted it. Very sad. You are wearing Tuscan leather, Ivani. I might wear Tuscan leather again before the end of the season. The season which ends a week. There's 8 days. 7, 8. Yes, I've got 8 more scents to pick from. 8 more scents to pick from over the next week. A week on Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it's 9 actually. 9 days. He's also creative director of Milano Fragranze perfumes. Oh dear. Salutations. No scent of the day. I've set my ass at home for the last week or so. Why have you done that? I want to buy Tango. Now might be the fucking time, you know. You now might be a good time to buy fragrances from them, because I don't know what'll happen to the brand. There's uncertainty at best. We don't know what's going to happen. They could stop. He could have been the driving force. Who knows? Bijou says, don't give Dushan your number. Why not, Bijou? Absolutely, I saw it instantly when they posted it. I'm good, no. Thanks, eh? I saw Joel the Nose spray himself 10 times with Mandela, bloody hell, as he was driving around Florida. Man said, if you don't do 10, you ain't gonna win. Fuck. Joel the Nose, that's a lot of perfume. It's a lot of that. His partner will carry on. I hope so. Shocking, says Frank. Yes. Nekal 3000, welcome. Have you commented before? I can't remember you if you have. So welcome. Please come in and stay with us. Speak a while. Madeline smells fantastic. I gifted a bottle to my mom, but when I visit, I sneak a couple of sprays. Yes. There is nothing better than buying somebody a gift you wish to own for yourself. I do that. Here's this present. You don't know what it is? Oh, it's fantastic. I'll use it. I'll show you how to use it. I'll use it myself. Oh no. If you buy directly from Mas Milano, use the 15% code that's available 24/7, 365. I'd recommend shopping discounters for Mask, though, says Divine. What is the 15% off code, though, Divine? Please tell us. Dropout says, I lost my mum due to cancer. She was 54. It's sad. Young people going away every day. It's not very old, that is it? It's not very old, and I'm sorry for your mother. Central Station says, it says on Google, Mask is a perfume house founded by Riccardo Tedeschi and Alessandro Brun. I hope his partner carries on. Frank is wearing French Lover. A is considering buying his mother a vintage Samsara Mini. Well, I have got a couple of Samsara EDPs that I'm looking to part with. Speaking of which, I did sell my Patu Pour Homme today, and I got $550, which is the price I was looking for. Then looked on eBay afterwards and saw that they're going for £650 upwards, so don't say I don't look after you. Trying to offer me £400 indeed. Yes, Rabbit came through, bless him. Dropout, that's quite an event. Yes. Cheers all, welcome PK. Vintage Bogart one-man show is your scent of the day. A little goes a long way, does it not? I think this one's quite nice. Just don't over-apply. Yes, very potent. Very potent. That's the same thing I did buying sartorial for my father, says Pulp FM. Quack, Paroli, welcome. Rabbit, yes, Rabbit came through. He did. Pulled a rabbit out of the hat. He shall receive his perfume tomorrow. No going back. You could probably get even more bottles of Gucci Guilty Absolute, giving them as gifts. Get them right back, says Fleet Street Bob. That's a good shout, that, actually. I could justify spending the money because it's it's a present. Why Samsara, says Pradeep. Just don't wear it, mate. Are your items UK only? Yes, I can only ship within the UK, unfortunately. Hi, Rich. Welcome, KM. Pricing on the Russian tea, 100ml version. Good question. I imagine it would be considerably more than the 35ml. I don't know if Divine is still on the website. I haven't worn my sartorial decant in a while. Might make it my scent of the day, says Ace of Souls. There is no time like the present. Strike while the iron's hot. All of that good stuff, you know. I shall be wearing my sartorial and fucking €379 current price for 100ml of Russian tea. Not quite. Not for me. That's far too much. I got 100ml at a discounter for €150, says Pradeep. Yes. They hike prices on the 1st of Feb or the 1st of Jan. It used to be a 355. That's too much. That's far too much. That's silly. It's not. No. That is bonkers. I checked. That code doesn't work anymore. I last tried it on Black Friday and first used it last June. Not sure if they suspended it, says Divine. Richie should try the other Sultan Pasha Fougere. Much soapier, not as green. Has a little ambery facet. Welcome, DJ. I got 100 and they hiked prices. A steal with current prices. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. It was 4 years ago. Life must go on. It's very sad. But you're right. That's the thing about life. It never stops for anybody, unfortunately. Even though it feels like it does sometimes. Divine, any samovar for that money? US discount. I sell 35ml of it all the time for $80. Good grief! What the hell? They're asking €750 for Rebot. What's that? What's Rebo? Do I say a masked Milano? Yes, you do, Ryan X. The founder passed away today. So, that is sad. Ruby sucks. How are you doing? I'm alright. How are you? Rebo is the recent release from Mask Milano, released in December last year. Green glass bottle. That is just, no, don't pay for that kind of madness. Divine, I was so offended by the prices on Ruby and Emerald. Ruby fucking sucks too, apparently, says Divine. Probably never go to that again. The ouds are also extremely expensive, says Pradeep. Just bought Ammo Watch Jubilation 40 and Comme de Garçon Ganja. A weird mixture, yes or no? One of the very few photorealistic canna notes done well. Interesting. Rebo is an Antoine Lee fragrance. Is it good? Bought a bottle and samples from Saint-Celier, says DJ. Nice. What bottle did you buy? We don't use the word samovar here, so I was lost on the context. I haven't smelled it. I don't know anybody that has, not at them fucking prices. I didn't get to try Rebo when I was in Italy, sadly. Not surprised at them bloody prices, not let you touch it. Probably behind bulletproof glass, is it? Wait, are Mas Milano bottles experiencing the bad taste artist death price hiking thing? No, I doubt it. Not yet, anyway. I mean, that would be some fucking speedy market fucking thing. I mean, most people don't know about it yet. You know what I mean? Speaking of ganja, Eugene said he's spoken with Antoine about testing cannabis notes. How familiar is Antoine with cannabis? I mean, you'd be able to get it like every other fucker. Do you know what I mean? You get it off everybody and their bloody grandmother. you know. There we go. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Antoine Lee is God. I didn't get to try Rebo, something from Chronotope. Speaking of Gaja, I tried the Ruby dog shit, however. What's your favourite of the Desert Gems the night? Nothing yet, but it's causing speculation over it, says Divine. Just got a sample of Dawn. It's the only I ain't smelled. All of them suck, literally all of them, but Mandela Oud was outright offensive. Delbert Garcia, how are you, sir? I'm new in the game. What a good leather fragrance to start with. Thanks. What is a good leather fragrance to start with? Welcome to you, Delbert. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you commenting and joining us. Please come in and sit down. We are most friendly and welcoming. A good starter leather. What is a good starter leather? Ombre leather could be a good one. Ace of Souls. Ombre leather, says Dev as well. Kniza 10. I'm not sure Kniza 10. Kniza 10's an amazing leather, but I'm not sure it's a good starter leather. Hermes Gallo, says DJ. That toilet water. Kniza 10 is not a good starter leather, says Dev. Yeah, I don't know. It depends. I mean, do you know what kind of things you like already? The best thing to do is evolve rather than revolutionize your taste, you know? And follow things that you like. Take your time. Don't spend a lot of money all at once, because buying perfumes can be addictive, as strange as that sounds. But it does happen. Don't listen to people who say, buy it now. Use my code. Don't do that. The chat will help, because I'm drawing a fucking blank at the minute. I am sorry. A starter leather. Be handy if there was a fragrance called starter leather, wouldn't there? Because a lot of my taste is vintage and discontinued stuff. Remember that gem from the top 10 leather stream? There's a lot of them. Carver's Field Book. Welcome to you. A good starter leather. Cabochard. 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 Which one? Cabochard's a brand, isn't it? Or is it a perfume? I'm actually thinking of Cabochard. I'm not happy with Dura Rose. He's just sent me a message. Fahrenheit is a leather. Arguably, Fahrenheit's definitely a leather. I have a decant of ombre leather and like it a lot. What other fragrances do you own? What other fragrances? This is fun. I like this. Let me go back to the chat and pick things up, because but Delbert, the chat will help, and I will help as soon as I pull my fucking mind together, because I'm drawing a blank. You could try Lone Star Memories. Is that a starter leather? That's a grown-up kind of leather. Gucci Guilty Absolute. 80s. You like 80s fragrances? You try and taste. Okay, let me pick up the chat. Cannabis, this is Eugene 2.0. The old one would never do this, says Spaced Out. Picking up incense Avignon today, says Ivane. Tell us if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I'm sorry. Very excited to finally find the perfect church incense perfume. That used to smell like the best part of attending liturgy. Really nice starting leather is Carner Barcelona Revolucion. Came out last year. Smells a bit like leathery Ganymede, but not synthetic, and quite mediocre performer. Ombre leather is a good beginner leather, says Dev. Kniza 10, Hermes Gallo. Kenny's a 10 is not a good starter, says Dev. Jump into the deep end. Flap about a bit. I did that, to be fair. Nearly drowned, says Ryan. Don't drown in perfume. Don't drown in any way at all. I don't advise that whatsoever. Would you all consider Bellamy a good starter? Maybe the new version. The old version, maybe not. Because, I mean, the shaker bottle's potent. Leather Forever by Digabor, says Dushan. It's got to be kind of like accessible as well. We can't just be saying like whipping out like those kind of we can't just be like whipping out those kind of outrageous leathers that like can't be found for under £1,000. Do you know what I mean? Or like can't be found full stop. I would say Queer Canage. Queer Canage, isn't it? It's got that lovely iris in it as well, which makes it a bit more accessible, but the fucking price is outrageous. You know, and I'm not about spending other people's money. The best thing to do is definitely try and find decants or samples and find out what you like. Don't just buy based on what someone says. You can be advised by what someone says. They can point you in the right direction. Excuse me, bloody hell. They can point you in the right direction and give you hints and tips and excuse me. But don't just go out and spend money on based on what somebody says, you know. Somebody came in yesterday and said, what would be the advice you gave to like beginners? And that, I think it was yesterday, and that was one of the pieces. Don't just buy, not even if I say it, not even if somebody else says it, like, it's your money. You've worked hard for your money. You've suffered for your money. Money's important. It's not everything, but it's bloody important. Ambra Fetiche. Ambra Fetiche. Decants are the way to go. Certainly. Decants, samples, beg, borrow, steal, don't steal, never steal, no. Beg, borrow, see if people will decant your stuff. If you're in the UK, I might be able to help you. If you're in the UK, Greggy Boy's website, Fragrance Samples UK, go to your local department store. But the problem you've got there is that all the sales associates will be like, buy this. How would you like this? And a lot of them are very giving you the hard sale. Mitsuko is a great leather, says Dev. Armani Queer Noir, very vanillic, sexy, smooth leather, says Spaced Out. Vintage Bellamy is for a vintage man. Gianfranco Ferre for sub $100. Is that possible? Violette Valenka. I don't think that's a starter leather, but it is bloody good. I absolutely love that stuff, but I just wouldn't wear it. I might get a 15 mil of it just so I've got it around, you know, and I can just like spray it on myself a bit, you know. Carver's Field Book. Welcome and thank you for joining. A good starter leather is Cobashard. I'm going to have to look that up because I'm fucking all over the place with that. Cobashard. That is not on Parfumo, so I don't know what that is, sorry. All the hype around the new Maison Crovelli from Biche, everyone is jumping on it like it's gold dust. I hate hype around Fragrance. I haven't had the chance to gain an opinion. Yes, it's going to be shit if it's made by Biche. Sorry, Biche is a very good perfumer. Grey Cabochard it is, says Ryan. Maybe Tom of Finland's a good starter leather. Grey, yeah. Yes, I've got it now. I took because the spelling was the way it was, I went and put it literally into Parfumo when it wasn't there. I'm a silly boy. Cabochard, says Ryan. Fahrenheit is a leather, arguably. It is. It's not even arguable. Stronger with you leather, not too oppressive. Yeah, you could go for a designer leather, something a little bit less kind of outrageous. We don't even know if Delbert's still here. I hope you are. I have a decant of ombre leather, and I like it a lot. Stronger with you with a leather. Not too oppressive. Hello, folks. Welcome, Tripler. Costume National Home. I've got a bottle there. I should wear that again. Divine. Retracting Messages. Smalto. It's hard to find, though. Malto Smalto. Malto Smalto's not a leather. Cabochard by Grey. The newer version is still very old-fashioned type of leather, not perfect, but good and very cheap. That's a good idea. If you buy a fragrance that's cheap, at least you haven't lost any, like, very much. If you choose to get it. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. I mean, Antaeus. The thing with Antaeus is that it's available in lots of places and you can smell it very readily. So you don't have to pay anything. You can just go into the shop and be like, can I try this? Thank you, fuck you, and goodbye. You know? You don't have to pay them a thing. Queer Dawn is just very soft and well done. Haven't tried it yet, though. It's very floral for me. Cabochard is a good call, says Triplet. Seen a few posts of people rushing to put their orders in. Le Male Essence de Parfum is the sweetest leather. Central Station, maybe start with suede and then move uptown to a leather. Yes. Joran Parfum, great starter leather, says Germs. Yes. Forgot about getting those Les Santos samples, says DG. Habit Rouge for a gentle leather. Do I say Habit Rouge as a leather? That's a very different way of looking at Habit Rouge. Rochas Globe, yes, that should be quite decent to find. I only have the new version of Bellamy, and I do like it. I found it quite peppery. O'Murray says Molinar Queer is a good and relatively cheap leather. Yes. Queer Canage is a beauty. You don't get the mentholated vibe from it. However, I do a little bit from the African orange flower. Molinard Queer is a really good one. Queer by Legalian is a suede, like soft buttery leather. Yes, but they're not easy to find and they're not cheap when you do. Whipping my wang out, says Divine. Oh, stop that. Starter leather, it might be something that literally smells like a leather shop, just to start off with. Judison's M is brilliant. Did you just forget to breathe? Quite. Vintage Avon Black Suede cheaper than hydration, says Trevor. Bottega, Bonetta, Pohama's a leather, I think, quite cheap. Sergio Ton says, what? Shut up, Bob. Decants are the way to go. 10 minutes, bro, let's see it. Judison's M is on my list to sell. Why did you steal this perfume so? Rich told me to. I get done for inducing crimes in people. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Lone Star Memories, yes, I thought that as well. Leather is not a starter note. If you want to feel the note, it must be a bit dirty otherwise and not smell like leather. Grey Cabochard it is, says Ryan. Maybe Tom Fillon is a good starter. Anuj has Cabochard and different versions. Supposedly the new one is also back to world form. Pity they don't do it anymore, says Paul Buffemo. The Tom Ford leathers for starters, to be honest. Yeah, Tuscan leather. Is a harsh fragrance, but it's easy, it's accessible, you know. Hello, Pat Lester. I heard the bad news about the founder of Mask Milano. In personally, his interview, he stated that he started the business just to start one. Usually people start one because they love perfumes. Nevertheless, he did a really good job with the perfumes. He did do a good job with the perfumes, I think. Here in the US, Antaeus is exclusive to Chanel stores, not available at counters. I forget what a fake means. AFAIK. Queer by the Galleon of Suede. Would consider Habit Rouge to be a citrus rose. I would say it's a citrus lavender. Some other ideas that I like. Wilhelm to my father. Fragrance Dubois, Milano. Unique Ease Sheep Toscano. Tuscan leather dupe. You could go for La Yucca Wham, which is a dupe. Rich, have you tried B Men? I have. I had a bottle of B Men and I sold it. AFARC, as far as I know, of course, yes, thank you. Habit Rouge Privé is proper leather. Whoever asked is going to quit perfume. Got a decant of Moschino Hom to experience a well-balanced and approachable Italian leather. Tripler, you want to try Smalto Porom, it's sensational. I wonder if Anuj has any left. Something was wanting for the Amazon running post, take them out of the shit size of it. I'm sending memes whilst I streams. Hi, Rich, have you tried B-Men? I have. I had it and I sold it. It's Audrey Jane. 'Tis Tuesday. How is Audrey Jane? How are you? Are you okay, love? What's happening? How is your baby? How is your other half? Carver's Fieldbook says, I'm never going to understand the appeal of Tom of Finland. I would have to smell Tom of Finland again or go back and watch my review. Trussardi Uomo. Ow. Trussardi Uomo, I wouldn't say the vintage is accessible. I really struggled with it, like. I have smelt Eau Duck. That's fantastic. I love it. That's my favourite Italian leather, if I'm being honest. That and Fendi Uomo. Suede to Suede by Mono di Orio is a very good, a very realistic and prominent suede accord. Very good. I sold Smalto not long ago. It's lovely, but not for me. How did you finally sell it? Did you finally get rid? I should have bought that, to be honest. But I've got loads of bottles. I'm nearly full. Queer leather. I like the queer. I like the Mono di Orio queer. It's fucking immense. It's absolutely fucking immense. And fucking Mono di Orio is a shuthead brand, you know. If you go on their website, they're not trading at the minute. They're redesigning everything, which is absolutely horrifying. Somebody bought it on eBay. Good. Did they leave you good feedback? Did they say nice things? Today I wore Secret de Parfum, as I speculated that I would yesterday. Fuck me. It's got that narcotic vibe, you know? It's got that narcotic vibe that Opium, the original's got. Hold on. What have we done? Audrey Jane has distracted me. Come in and being a mischief, a tinker. Suede to suede. Oh my god, I've broken the chat. What am I doing? Yeah, leather. Somebody bought it on eBay. Thank you, Divine. Do you think Fendi Uomo has real castoreum in it? Such a great frag, and that note stands out to me with herbs. Probably not. I think this was made in the 90s, and I'd be very surprised if they were still using it in the 90s. Welcome, Bronick. Did you hear about the new Chanel prices? I certainly did. I honestly don't see how the Mono di Orio brand can continue to be profitable. It's tough with so much competition. This is one of the things I was saying. I mentioned this maybe in passing, because I didn't want to mention it too much to Eugene, but I did say once or twice to him. I was like, "There's a fucking hell of a lot of competition out there for perfume and stuff, you know." It's it's like a fucking like tidal wave of perfume. Like, think of all the new releases all the time. I'm glad he still went that. I didn't want to drive that point too much because I didn't want to stop him or put doubt in his mind about doing it. I'm sure I couldn't have stopped him even if I tried. But you know, there is that's a very good point that about Mona Diorio being profitable. She's got so many fragrances. I think that's a big oh fuck me, what have I done? Sorry, I'm just breaking things. That's a big problem that all brands have got to face these days. Well, I've just sprayed this by accident and I can't confirm the spray. I fucked the spray. Oh, you fucking prat. I fucked the spray. What a dickhead. I'll deal with you later, sir. But it's a wonderful fragrance, that. Yeah, there is so much competition out there. It's outrageous. I have heard about the new Chanel prices, and they are scandalous. Mancera Wild Leather is really good for kicking people's asses, says Facilitator. Welcome to you. I'm not a Mancera fan. I wouldn't advise people to buy Manceras, but if I wanted to kick someone's ass, I may very well put a Mancera on. Fortunately, I am a man of peace. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Really recommend Crabtree Sienna if anyone can find it. New or older version, both incredible leather jaws, says Tropler. Yes. Right, I'm going to see if I can fix this. I can't leave well enough alone. Bobby, how is Bulgari rubber puck holding up? Yes, Bob. How is it holding up? Why are you spraying funky? Am I going to have to destroy you? Why? What is going on here? Perfume on my lip. Rich is a peaceful giant. Massively peaceful. Oh my Jesus, man. Why are you like this? Yes, friends, I can confirm I have utterly fucked this fucking sprayer. What an absolute knob. That'll be because I've been putting the fucking lid on and taking it off all the fucking time. I'm going to have to decant this now. What a bell end. Not a great day for Mask Milano, this. Sorry about that. Pradeep, you can't trust his judgment anymore, says James. Rich is a peaceful giant. Has it been used for hockey? What the puck? What about Vivados for an affordable leather? Are the Vivados still affordable? Because they've been discontinued. Like, it's outrageous. Pradeep has said puck for the first time. Probably just did a video with it, I think, says he. Interesting. I had spaghetti bolognese for my tea tonight, and it was absolutely delightful. Oh! And I'm absolutely stuffed and may never eat again. Vivatos packaging is pretty amazing. I must admit the bottles were pretty cool, although I've never had one. I was never a fan. I always thought they were... I don't know, I didn't get the hype. I didn't get the hype for Vivatos fragrances, to be honest. It was just never my thing. Dark Rebel was excellent. When you could get it for $40, it's still really good. Vivatos Vintage bored me to death. Tripler announcing his own passing. Good grief. Okay, I'm going to dehydrate, friends. If you would like to like the stream when I am gone, I would appreciate it. I would not stop you. I will be back. Fear not. Oh. I'm back. The room smells nicely of Russian tea, which is very fetching, I must admit. Even if I have fucked the bottle, which is upsetting, I can tell you. Oh, was that a chicken or a baby? What chicken? Sorry, I was laughing at Man City's latest. You alright? Yes, it was a duck. Yes, I'm okay. I was laughing at Man City's latest free kick routine, which was hilarious, I can tell you. Where are we? Terrible longevity swag surfing. It's time for some croissant with rosehip tea. Fragrances to be resuscitated by... Oh. Something medicinal. Which I just love how Antace is getting hyped up again by you frogheads this summer. Anyone else here prefers Monsieur by Frederick Marlowe, The French Lover? Not me. I prefer French Lover. I like it. I'm going to wear it in the spring, I think. I'm pretty certain. I'll probably take a citrus top to lead me out of the dark tunnel. Seems running to wear before he's resuscitating. I will listen to that later when I am writing notes for work then, says Horace. I wouldn't touch Frederick Marlowe with a 10-foot pole, says Divine. Why not? That's an outrageous statement. Was that a chicken or a boot? Yeah. Monsieur's brilliant, says Paul, says Proddy. Outdated feel, all of them are fucked old heads, in my opinion, and recent ones suck too. I'm wearing Coven by Andrea Mark today, and it is Pisces season, casting love spells all over the place. Stay away. I don't want to fall in love. I'm not a lover, I'm a hater. Rah. Seppa, you are at the wrong channel then. You're at the wrong Chanel. Oh. Sat, he's not at the wrong Chanel. He's at the right Chanel. All are welcome, unless they're dickheads. And he's not a dickhead. Oh. Divine has opposite taste of me and a lot of other people here. And I often say mean things about the brands he likes. So he has more than enough justification and reason and right to say mean things about the things I like. And I enjoy it when he does. So that, Rich, you're going to fall in love. Oh, no. I know people here like Frederick Moore. I just enjoy taking them out. Reading the notes of Latessa, says Mysel Sandal. Is that for real? It'll be a sandal. It'll be a Mysel Sandalwood Accord. It will not be real Mysel Sandalwood. It can't be. Too late, Rich Mitch. You're going to fall in love. You should leave your own stream then, Rich dickhead. Shut up, bitch. I might put Lily in timeout. You sadistic bloke, says Brody. I like mainstream, modern niche, says Divine. I think, brace yourself, Divine. You might want to sit down for this one, but I think someone is going to send me a sample of Iris by Zerzhov. And I'm also in premium niche in brands like Royal Crown, Clive Christian, Bodicea. Those brands wipe the floor with Luton's, Frederick Marl, etc., says Divine. That is an outrageous statement. But Balenciaga Pour Homme already has Rich's heart. That's true. I was just joking, says Sarah. I personally love Byredo, and Ram and Rich are not the biggest fan of the brand. Whoa. Bah. I like their pulp. No, it's not Brian. Brian's not sending me any Iris. It's a friend of the channel, and a friend in general. I might have to shave part of my mustache because it's trying to climb up my nose and it's tickling like fuck. Smelled Latessa next to Alessandro and think the good sir did it better? Yes. Yes. Absolutely. I'm not in Byredo. Myself. Smelled only a few here and there. Bobby Dior was timed out by germs. I think Duck's a ridiculous name for a sports team. Minor league trip, AA. Is it Brian? No, whomsoever says Mysel Sandalwood also thinks the earth is flat. Germs has dealt with Bobby Dior for saying, I think Ducks is a ridiculous name for a sports team. Saying evil things. Ah, Boz. Welcome. Ever smelled anything by Aesop, Rich? Yes, I smelled the whole line. Last time I went to Manchester with Dura Rose, me and him kind of waddled over to the Aesop line at the end of the day when I could not smell something if it was fucking 1 millimeter from my nasal olfactive bulb. I was dead. My nose was dead. And we went over and smelled it, and I still smelled a couple of them. They're nice. They're well made. Bry's big fan of Aesop, and he was telling us to smell them. He was telling us to smell them. And so we did. And there's one called Wheel. 1, 2, 3, says Bob. Counting to 3 to calm down. La Tessa has a sweetness that Alessandro doesn't have. Yes. Alessandro's got this violet note in it as well, which makes it smell more purple. You know? Has Raskin made something since changing company? Excuse me. I don't even know which companies that he works for now. Like, I know he's changed over to a company that makes perfumes, but I don't know which houses work underneath that brand. Center of the day is Born in Roma, Choral Fantasy. That Born in Roma line, like, fucking what? Valentino Uomo, Born in Roma. Just the fucking names are so long. Brevity is the soul of wit. PK says, random question. What's everyone's choice of frag with the greatest longevity? One vote here for Jacques Bogart de Viris. Like a tattoo, practically permanent. Tour de Hermes Parfum lasted for 3 days on me once. And that was after a couple of showers. Literally couldn't get it off, and I could smell it. Outrageously, I had it sprayed on my tricep. Welcome, Pep. Pep, did you hear about the death of Alessandro Brun, the Mask Milano founder? Very sad. I get light grey from Iris Sandra, not purple. I'll meet you at grey lavender. It's got that kind of silvery purple thing that Iris Silver Mist has going on. A rather long line too. Yellow Dream. Yellow Dream's a silly name. Like Why Live. Why Live's a stupid name for a perfume because you can pronounce it Why Live. Just ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous. A rather long line too. Yeah, there's far too much. Herba Pura lasted through 5 hand washes and a shower. It was terrible. Yeah, it's terrifying when that happens. Mona Diorio's Queer lasts for a long time as well. Anything with amber woods lasts for too long. You bought Cartier Roadster EDT. I am jealous. Where did you find a bottle of that? It's discontinued. I remember saying I was going to get backups of that, and Galen, of all people, turned around and said, nobody needs a backup of Roadster by Cartier. A couple of months later, it was discontinued. And I was like, oh. Good thing I got a backup of Roadster by Cartier, isn't it, Galen? Silly Galen. He was right at the time, but he didn't stay right. You know? Where am I? Yellow Dream is such an obscene name for a perfume. I bought a cheap Aramis Devon yesterday. That was my experience with De Viris after multiple showers. Incredible. Divine says, greatest longevity. I remember Maison Crevelli's Hibiscus Mahayad lasted 2 weeks on my office jacket. On skin, I once got 2 days for Solid de Jura by Stefano Umbaluga. Dirty, earthy, floral. Yikes. Green Stravaganza. I once got months out of Ambra Sultan on a woolly jumper. On clothes, it doesn't really count because, you know, it's like it gets into the fabric, especially if it's wool. You know what I mean? Wool's got all those kind of like different fabrics, different fibers. you know. Is Rich a fan of Aqua de Parma? Rich is a fan. Rich is a fan of Aqua de Parma. I would love to see the brand. I would love to like the brand, but it's outrageous what they are asking for quality-wise. It lasts 5 minutes on my skin. A lot of them do that. Essenza, Colonia Essenza lasts. That's a long-lasting perfume on me as well, actually. Hopefully the wash wasn't because you didn't like the scent. Yellow Dream sounds like a weird film. Yellow Dream sounds like a bad porn film. I've seen lots of posts about Alessandro. I never met him, but sad indeed. Very sad. 50 years old, you know. Nothing that. And he looked younger than me. Apparently it was a shock. So I don't know, like, whoever, because the post I saw that was sent to me, because obviously I'm not on social media, somebody sent me a post. And the post was like, oh, I can't believe this. I don't know what's happened. I don't know how it's... So I imagine it was like, it was either an accident or it was a sudden, or maybe it's a heart attack or a stroke or something. I don't know. But very sad. Very sad. Clothes really mislead longevity ratings. I just remember that experience of the Crivelli when I was next to the game. I accidentally bought bloody Roadster Sport while half asleep, can't get myself to spray it. I bought Roadster Sport by accident once, and really, it's not as good as the original. The original's immense. I think Cartier is not very successful in sales, says Stefan. What makes you say that? New to the game, not next to the game. Okay. Frederick Moore Moon got compliments from my alien buddy on Mars. That's not bad projection and longevity. Quite. Ombre leather sticks on clothes for months too. That's because it's got amber woods in it. Anything with amber woods is going to last for fucking far too long. Excuse me. Also, this one was such a hit or miss fragrance for me. I love it other times. I want to rub it away. Promise was too much for me in the end. Trip Sport, not bad. Love the bottle. I love the Roadster bottles. They're amazing. They do have the best bottles in the game. Yeah, Lawn Vol bottle's amazing as well. You know, the bottle for Lawn Vol is absolutely incredible. The old one, I don't know if they still do the 2-part one where you can get refills for it. Arpège is amazing, says Duchan. Féminité du Bois, the original Féminité du Bois fragrance has got one of the best bottles. It's one of the best because of its simplicity, and it is simply a trial form. It's incredible, the shape of that bottle. Incredible. He should have to throw him under the bus when he's a proper aerospace. Who threw Elon under a bus? The declaration. Elon Musk is not a good actor in the world. All of these billionaires owning far too much, and they're like governments. It's time to start treating them as such, with all the suspicion and the disdain that governments get. They have too much money and too much power. I would prefer to see that money distributed much more evenly throughout the population. And that doesn't mean giving people who do nothing money for nothing. That's not what I'm saying. My lunch burrito is extra delicious today. Must be the company. Ah, you're such a softie. Good evening, folks. Good evening, Nick Walker. Lane says, yeah, they had declaration at the perfume shop as well, but can't buy everything. But I think all the fragrances sales are suffering right now. Yes, and for the price increases that they have been making, so they fucking should. The scandalous bastards. They are ripping us off left, right, and centre. Patrick Bateman wears Valentino suits. Are you sure they aren't Brioni suits? Brioni make a good suit, or they certainly used to make a good suit. I don't know if they still do. Is this lid about to crack? Better fucking not be. God. Vaporizator Pure Mist. Oh, I might wear this tomorrow, you know. Woof. Cedar. Plum. Brilliance. One of the finest perfumes available to humanity. Patrick Bateman also wears Oscar de la Renta Paul Louise Scepter. I've got that. Money to single moms would be good, says Germs. Yes, John Gotti wore Brioni suits, says Boz. No, Valentino, he says so in a scene. Have you read the book? The book is absolutely littered with designer things because it's to highlight the fact that he's very superficial. Nick Warwick is wearing Pegasus exclusive. I wonder if the guy, I forget his name, which is absolutely awful, Patter. I think it was Delgado, wasn't it? I hope you're still here, or you got something out of our conversation earlier. Probably still writing them all down, to be fair. The Musk book by Isaacson is supposed to be extraordinary. Delves into his mad genius. The problem with Elon Musk is that he's on the fucking autistic spectrum, and he owns one of the biggest social media companies in the world. He's a useful idiot. He's prime. He's a prime target for spurious actors such as nefarious governments and fucking special interest groups because he's one of those people who surrounds himself with yes men. Oh, Elon, masterful gambit, sir. Very well said. You're such a genius. I love you, Elon. You're so clever. You know? Rarely do you hear any of his friends say, no, stop, what are you thinking? And he doesn't have the world's greatest social skills. He just doesn't. You know? So his social intelligence isn't great, which again leaves him wide open to be it leaves him wide open to being manipulated. He should have stuck to the science, in my opinion, and the business, because he understands numbers, he understands physics, he understands all that kind of thing. Human beings, not so much. I don't think he understands human beings. He understands data, but I think he can be manipulated, and I think he is being manipulated. And he tries to make himself out to be one of these fucking... he tries to make himself out to be one of these, like, freedom fighters, freedom of speech things. He's not. He isn't. Anyway. The bag he uses to dispose of Paul Allen's body is a Jean-Paul Gaultier, says Boris. Does anyone know of a perfume guide type book which details notes, scent profiles, etc.? So on the wall, Russian tea by us. No, I've seen the film at least. Think, book. What perfume is the right perfume for your favourite teacher from elementary school? Oh, God almighty. That's niche. Does anyone know of a perfume guide type book? Somebody will. Welcome, Juan. How is Fat Boy? Herbe Vibes. I wasn't a fan of the original one. Me and Eugene slaughtered it. Fucking very metallic. I'm not a metallic note fan. But it seems to be the future. You know? It seems to be the future. Blind bought a bottle of vintage Aramis Havana today. Is it good? Yes. It's very kind of, I don't want to say sour tobacco, but it's not a sweet tobacco fragrance. It's not a sweet tobacco fragrance at all. It's like a tobacco leaf kind of fragrance, you know? It's good though, it's a good fragrance. 15 years ago, Musk was a superstar among aerospace engineers. I wish he'd stayed there. Have to get going. Thank you, A. Best wishes. Electric Jesus, says Bobosh. Boboosh. There you go. The Papa may be one of the most driven human beings alive, though fallible. Not he's changing humanity. He's definitely changing the world. Absolutely, he is. Absolutely, he is. I think. Do you know how he's? This isn't a point about him necessarily. This is a point about wider technology and stuff. He's put all of his time, effort, and resources into Tesla, right, which is an electric car company. I can see electric cars not being a thing in 20, 30 years. I don't think electric cars are going to be a thing. I think it's going to be hydrogen. And apparently Honda have cracked it, and another company as well. But apparently Honda have cracked the hydrogen storage problem and the hydrogen safety problem as well, and the hydrogen cell fuel cars. And I think electric cars won't be a thing, or they'll be a very niche part of the market, you know. But apparently, if you look it up, noise is coming out, and it would be Honda. I fucking love Honda as me. I love Honda as a company. Like, the best cars I've ever driven were Hondas. My Honda Integra my Honda Integra is one of the best handling fucking cars I've ever had. Front wheel drive, 2-wheel drive. Honda Civic Type R, which I loved as well. Just a genuinely fantastic brand, to be honest. Baboosh says he's a wannabe Bond villain. That's a lot of my next door neighbour who is massively into technology says that. Not the alcoholic one. The other next door neighbour. He says he's a Bond villain. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm not a massive fan, to be honest. He's got too much power. I'm not a fan of any of that class of people. You know? Zuckerberg, him, Bezos, fucking Bill Gates, all of them. Too much money, too few of them. Not good, not great. They're all sitting on far too much money. What was he called as well? Steve Jobs. Fuck him as well. Highly recommend a book by Neil Chapman. Can't recall the exact title. If you Google perfume and Neil Chapman, you should find it. Eldo Archive 69 New. They really broke YouTube. Who broke YouTube? I got the EDP and Herb's Vibes. Herb's Vibes. Like them a lot. Thanks, the metallic graded EDP is lovely. Yeah. Not for me, it's not. Are there any good Burberrys? London, yes. London, says Dushan. eVTOLs. Maybe the cars will fly by then. Can you imagine? There'd be loads of people getting fucking hit by cars. He has lots of projects, Doug. I have a Starlink, and what he's done with that has infinite potential. He's already taken over outer space. He should be stopped from doing that as well. The scientists aren't very fucking happy with him about Starlink, are they? Because the fucking satellites keep getting in the way of their imaging. Party, I just got a sample of herbs. I really like it, says James. Thanks, says Boz. My teacher would be Eleanor Weege. She was already smelling of jasmine from the garland she wore. Steve Jobs already dead, fam. Yes, and I mean, you wouldn't be surprised if he came back with all the money that he's got. Problem with hydrogen right now is more the production, delivery, and distribution. Very high hurdle. Yes, you're right. I think it'll turn into local, though, because all you need is water. It'll turn into local production. You'll be able to produce it on site. You know what I mean? Literally, it'll be a case of bring us water. We'll make the hydrogen on site at a what we now call a petrol station, because all it is electrolysis, or like you just run an electrical current through water and you get hydrogen out of it. So they need to find a way of making that process. You don't need to transport it. It's the storing of it in the vehicle is the problem. And apparently, Honda's cracked it, like, you know? And I think that's got a lot more. I would much rather have a hydrogen car than an electric car. Why would you like an oligarch, says Oris? Exactly. They are our oligarchs. They're Western oligarchs. You know what I mean? Well, the same reason you wouldn't like an oligarch from fucking deepest fucking Russia, like Roman Abramovich or fucking Alexander Uzmanov or any of those other ones close to Putin, or any of the Chinese oligarchs or any of the Saudi Arabian oligarchs. Or like, I mean, they're all the same. You know? Jeremy is not a human anymore, just like Bateman. Jeremy is very human. Jeremy is very, very human. That's why he's such a mess. I smelled Jubilation 25. That was pretty damn good. Yes. What a fragrance that is, by the way. I love Burberry Brit. My first rose. Must love powder. Tour de Hermes Parfum or Bellamy Vetiver? Whoa. Both. Fortunately, you don't have to choose Dropout. You can get both. You just have to wait. You get one and then get the other. As Parolius said, yes, get both. Pradeep, that's a shame. I don't think I'd pay a whole lot for it. Probably come down. The superconductors that can work at room temperature will change a lot of things for the better. It doesn't even know that it's possible. We do not even know that it's possible. The guy who made the car run on water lived near me. That is pretty great. Do you know, it'll come from some guy working in his shed or his garden or his fucking garage or something. That's who'll crack it, you know. That's who'll crack it. It'll exactly like that. It'll be it. That's what'll happen. Someone who spends a little bit too much time in their garage by themselves, and as everybody thinks is a little bit strange, but they're generally harmless, and you know, and just that they're the type of humans. It's easy to vilify someone for impacting space imagery, but that tech is bringing internet and knowledge to millions of poor people. I would get that. That is a very, very good point, and it is worth making. You're right about that, Tripler. It is easy to vilify. So it's easy to vilify these people. They're there to be shot down, and it is easy for me to vilify them, and I do vilify them because they have all that money and that power, and they should be scrutinized. They have extraordinary power and extraordinary wealth, so they should be subject to extraordinary scrutiny. Right? But you're right. Bringing that shit to poor people like in Africa, in South America, in parts of Asia, large parts of Asia. My next door neighbour's got a Starlink. You know what I mean? He says it's fucking unbelievable. You know? He's like, it's like the speeds are insane. So yes, it's like everything. There's good and bad to everything. No one needs billions, says Peter. Yeah. The problem you've got is that people like one of the problems I've got is that somebody like Elon says, yes, everybody should have a universal basic income, or everybody should have a fucking, we're going to need this in future. It's like, well, no problem. You give up your billions as well, mate. You know what I mean? Before we all go for this great reset, before we go for this fucking like huge social change you're talking about, where you essentially change the natural order of things and the way things have been for hundreds of years, right? You give up all your money. It's like those people who want you to go to war on their behalf, right? Your fucking children first, mate. I'll follow your kids into battle. The fuck out of here. If he was an oligarch, Dropout would not have to make this tough decision, says Christina. What Silicon Valley might judge nails them all, just like the future of idiocracy. Yes. Jeremy just needs a good course of therapy or to do enough drugs that he actually sees God and it sets him straight. He thinks that he talks about God a lot, doesn't he? He talks about God a lot, but he's just... he's not well. He's not well, is Jeremy. I feel bad for Daniel. I call him Jeremy. His name's Daniel. I feel bad for Daniel. I would love to sit down with him for a good half hour, because I reckon I could suss him out. Like, I reckon I could. I mean, he's a master of deflection. He's a master of he's a master of not saying things and leaving things out. I feel, you know. I feel like he's a master of hiding things, and he's always hid things and presented a certain way of himself. He's not even a real Jeremy. He's a Daniel. I'm sorry I had to take this to you. Oh, Pradeep is going to leave the chat immediately when I share this video with him that has just come up in my feed. Sebastian has just dropped a video. Benjamin Bohem 2024 versus Benjamin Bohem original. Pradeep is running at pace. Yo, Mitch, how are you? Welcome, Bjorn, how are you? This guy's very helpful indeed. No one needs billions. Yo, Mitch, how are you? Bingo. I just think all that money that is set like up at the top of the pyramid, right? And they're not spending it. And I do know the difference between money that is like in stocks and shares, and money that is like cash and fluid and liquid and all that kind of thing. But I think all that wealth, you could spread those fucking you could spread that kind of wealth thinner. Those stocks and shares could be spread throughout the company by the people who dig up the fucking cobalt for your batteries, Elon. You know? By the people who build the cars. As I'm sure they're very well remunerated, but they could be better. You know? All those companies like hedge funds and fucking pension funds and all that kind of thing could be investing. And they don't. You know? They don't invest as much as they could or should. I don't know. I'm not a fucking... I just think that I would prefer to live in a more equitable society. I'm not a communist, you know? I'm not a socialist. I'm just thinking that it could just be a little bit more equitable. It could be considerably more equitable. He can't be serious about being a Christian. Jeremy talks a lot about God like the average Protestant, says Bjorn. We'll have no sectarianism, thank you. Jeremy talks about God, but I don't think they've actually met, says Horace. A guy who does coke and who knows what else, says Boss. I think his diet's got a lot to do with it. You see people who start eating like the shit that he comes out with, like the shit that he eats and stuff, and I'm a socialist, no one is surprised, says Horace. I respect a lot of socialists. If you look back through the history of what socialism, democratic socialism has done, like not countries where like it's been one party states and that's not real socialism. Like, but you look, like I can speak about the British aspect of it. 1945, you know, 1945 when Churchill had just won the war, went to the polls, and he got absolutely spanked by the socialists. You know, he got absolutely spanked by the socialists, and they turfed him out of office after he won the war for Britain. You know what I mean? Because the socialists wanted a national health service. They wanted to fucking, like, people have to actually want to go along with it. You can't force people to do it. Like communism and stuff like that is wrong. It's bad, you know? In the same way Nazism is bad. Clement Attlee, boss, exactly. Anyway, the socialist movement in Britain, the reason that people get paid holidays, you know? Socialist movement in Britain, the reason that we have a health service, the reason that we have like fucking 5-day working weeks and not 7-day working weeks, you know? It's crazy. The Duck, personal therapist of Jeremy. Hello, Smurfy girly, how are you? Well, like I say, I am not personally I'm not a conservative, I'm not a socialist, I'm not a Nazi, I'm not a communist. I would just like to see the wealth spread a bit thinner, you know? I don't disagree with you, Duck, but you can't stop the march. Alan and others, including Bill Ford, know that the future is automated and mass amounts of people will be laid off. What to do? You're right. There is going to be massive automation. Me and my friend, I've said this before, I'll say it again, fully automated luxury communism, right? Which is like a contradiction in terms in many ways, right? And we joke about it a lot, but that is the way we are headed. Like, there's going to be robots doing our jobs. They're going to take over. You're not going to have anything. There's going to be like, you're going to have AI is going to take over the fucking arts, even entertainment. Elon Musk is right. There's going to be robots in the future that you will need a strobe light to see how quick, because they're going to be so quick, you know? Mental. It's just crazy. I'm glad that my life, I'm not going to live to see 100 years from now. You know? Fuck knows. The change is terrifying. I've said this before. We're in the midst of a revolution. People just don't see it yet. If there is still history classes, because there may not be any need for education in the future, you know, or you might be able to download your education in the future. But then who writes that? You know what I mean? It's just crazy. You say you can't stop the march, but we could stop the march. We could stop the march. I mean, we could be talking about fully automated stuff. What happens if there's another massive Carrington event? You know what I mean? What if it's big? Because that wasn't even that big. What if the sun decides to say, right, are you fully automated now? Brilliant. Here's a massive solar flare. Deal with this. One of my friends used to fucking talk about solar flares all the time. And we're due one. We are due one. We are all hanging by a thread. Corporate socialism, if I may, says Paul Robertson. Well, the problem is that in 2008 and 2009, we had corporate socialism, didn't we, when the banks failed? And the taxpayer bailed them out. And none of them paid the price for the shit that they got up to, which was absolutely outrageous. Certainly not in Britain, anyway. Those people should have been sent to jail. Well, there was a couple of them that had the decency to off themselves after taking down the fucking economy, but there we are. Croft! Have you got your nose on pussy, says Divine? Many times. I've been here before. Welcome, my lifestyle not for sale. How are you, Brandon? Don't take the bait, Pradeep. He's testing your wrench loyally, says Lily. Pradeep's not going anywhere. Pradeep. Here you are again, Brandon, says Horace. Peter is saying hello to Claire. He's going to say, benzoin touches, you had benzoin experience? Leave a comment below so I can find out. That's exactly what he's going to say. Brandon has just got out of bed. Jeremy has a much better name than Daniel, says James. Brandon, that vintage crate of Russie looks so delicious. Horace is a socialist. No one is surprised. People can, like, you can disagree, but there's a lot of decent people. There's a lot of decent people who were socialists. There was a lot of socialists who fought in the Second World War as well, you know. There's a lot of socialists who fought communism, you know. Like, I know that sounds like a strange thing to say, but it's like saying that a conservative fought the Nazis, you know. It's, nobody likes that kind of extremism. Well, I say nobody does. There are some people who like it, but I don't recommend it. The Bible doesn't teach arrogance, and that's what Jeremy is most of the time, says Nick. I think he's definitely got his problems. That is real socialism, proverbially speaking, says Divine. What is? Jeremy is an example of the 7 deadly sins. Oh, it was Clement Attlee. Clement Attlee was one of the best prime ministers we ever had. There was a book. Was it a book or a memoir written by a general, a British general from the Second World War? And the general said that Churchill would have meetings for 3 hours where he would stand over a map with a fucking bottle of whiskey and a fucking cigar, and he would sit and fucking rant and fucking talk for hours, and he would be all soaring rhetoric and how we must fight them, do this and do that. And fucking the general said everybody was just waiting for him to fucking shut up and fuck off so they could sit with Clement Attlee for 10 minutes and get everything sorted that needed to be done. They were the dream team in a lot of ways. Clement Attlee did a lot of the doing, the heavy lifting of the Second World War, but Churchill kept everybody going. You know? They were a dream team. We were very, very lucky to have them both. Very lucky to have them both. We don't have the like anymore. Yeah, let me just clarify. I'm not a fascist, Cesarus. You don't need to clarify that. Most young people are referring to FDR when they talk socialism. Americans, sorry, I've got to say this. There will never be socialism in America. FDR wasn't a socialist. There has never been and there never will be socialists in America. Socialism or communism in America. A lot of people talk about it and say, oh, we're slipping into communism, we're slipping into socialism. It will never happen in America. They don't know socialism over there. It's just not. It's not on the menu at all. It's an inherently capitalist society. But the bad actors on the conservative side always take the chat to Stalin and shit. Bad faith. I understand. Western societies are apparently leaning towards some sort of neo-feudalism. Yes, I feel like feudalism is on its way. And in the US, firms are buying large housing tracts across the country and rental prices are crippling. Yes, absolutely. People can't afford to live. There's a phenomenon called accelerationism. If you look up what accelerationism, that's what it feels like they're doing. People like Elon Musk and BlackRock and Bill Gates and all of that, they're accelerating towards the downfall of society so they can control the downfall of society and then rebuild it in the image that they want to bring it up in again. Look up accelerationism. I agree with you about the feudalism. That's the times that they're taking we're back to, you know. Fun fact, the only nation in Europe that celebrates Orthodox and Catholic Easter is Albania, says Bjorn. Churchill got the seat back in 1951, didn't stay too long. Yes, he thought he was dying, but then he didn't. Eden stepped in, became the most hated man in the UK for a while. Yes, Anthony Eden, who had served every important job in the cabinet, proved that just because you have experience doesn't mean you're the right man for the job. In case any of you were getting fascist vibes from all my constant talking about love, says Horace. Welcome, DJ. Heck, even men are going to have sex with an AI or a robot in the future. Men have been wanting to do that for a long time. Men will stick their dicks in fucking anything. Most conservatives are for socialism. They partake in it all the time on the corporate side of things by giving huge tax breaks. That's true as well. You need to get people paying their fucking taxes. It's absolutely disgusting that they don't. You shouldn't be able to operate in a country if you don't pay the taxes. That would be one thing I would do. The topic of Churchill will be never-ending. Corporate socialism, yes. An AI takeover is a scenario in which artificial intelligence becomes the dominant form of intelligence on Earth as computer programs or robots effectively take control of the planet away from humans. Is this video going to get the label again? Yes, that happened as well. We got the Great Reset on one of them. I've said that now, so it'll probably get that as well. I think I posted it on the channel, didn't I? It only sounds strange if you know zero history. No, it isn't weird. Just thought the communists were going too far. They just thought the communists were going too far. George Orwell was a socialist and then became a staunch anti-communist after being in the Spanish Civil War and saying communists execute people. Yep. Exactly right. Choice of hydration. Same choice I make every day. Water. Richard drink distilled Vasa with Arm & Hammer. Keep the pH up. Alkaline. Interesting. Sauvage is a Hawaiian scent, says Germs. Arm & Hammer. That's the last straw, probably, but demand you do something about this. Neoliberal capitalism is very bad. It's just generally bad. America will most likely slip into oligarchy or hyper-capitalism, a two-class system, says Paul Robertson. Welcome, Paul Robertson. People will willingly gobble the schlong of whoever says stuff they agree with or like to hear. Absolutely, that is something I would like to avoid for myself. Don't forget about George Soros and his sons. I don't know enough about him to say it, to be honest. I've already accepted ecological collapse, so none of this matters to me anymore. Transhumanism is the problem, says Boz. I was talking about this today. Great to be here, Rich. Thanks for having us. Klaus Schwab, the Great Reset of 2030, says Alexander Larson. It's not just Klaus Schwab. I'm not even entirely sure who that person is, but it doesn't half seem to be something that's very popular amongst the rich and powerful, which isn't me and you. I can guarantee you that. I would refer you to fucking George Carlin. But welcome to you, Alexander Larson. I hope you are well. Rich, do you know the kind of people who live on logging roads? No. I'm just very sad about what will happen to the whales and birds. I'm a fan of Hess's glass bead game. Humans ideally would be reading, writing, and producing art and music while robots take care of manual labour. Whether it'll play out like that is yet to be seen. Yes, I mean, that's the ideal. We would all be having leisure. We would live in a leisure society where we could do what made us feel happy and do what made us feel fulfilled and all that sort of thing. And all the robots would do all the horrible stuff that we hate. But it's just not like that. It's just not like that. It's too sweet to be sincere. It's too sound. It's too nice. It's too good. AI is creating art and music. Yeah, that's what I said before. The AI will do that better than any of us can. You know what I mean? If you look at Bach, Sebastian Bach, right? That music is inherently mathematical. All right? That music is inherently mathematical in nature. That's why it's so good. That's why he's so revolutionary. You know? It's crazy. Hawaiians are horrible drivers, I agree. Capitalism as it is cannot be sustained. Current demand for resources is 6.5 times the Earth's resources. Well, stick around because I believe climate change, doesn't matter how it's being fucking changed or not, climate change will kill off quite a few people. There is a huge band of territory in Asia which will become completely uninhabitable, and there's about 2 billion people live in it. Right? And that's what'll happen. That's what'll happen. Those people will have to move. It will cause wars. There'll be wars over the fucking acquisition of fresh water, right? People won't be able to live because it'll get too hot. There are parts of Australia where last week it reached over 50 degrees. There is a temperature, I think it's 56 point something, where the human body cannot regulate its own temperature after that, and you will cook from the inside. You will die, all right? You can't sweat enough to regulate your temperature, so you will start to cook and die. And that is going to become a regular temperature on the surface of the earth in this huge band of territory. You know, Iran, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, India, fucking into Southeast Asia, maybe even parts of fucking China. Crazy shit. Let's go live with Demaché and use Ispahan until Earth is no more. No, I'd rather be no more than use Ispahan. This stream is for entertainment purposes only. Yes. This stream is for entertainment purposes only and has no experts. No expert. It's all opinions, not rooted in truths or facts, as Jacob would say. Alexander Lawson, does anyone know what happened to Brandon from Therapeutic Freaks? No, nobody does. Absolutely nobody does. He just dropped off the face of the earth. I hope he's all right. I heard that he was all right. Somebody got Somebody got back in touch. Eric Blair was his real name. Whose real name? Who? George Orwell. Yes. Both the left wing and the right wing of politics are just an illusion to create conflict between people smart enough to think you can do. You can just judge ideology. Colin knew everything before it even happened. That is true. I read everything George Orwell wrote in my late teens. Great stuff. Did you see AI creating Drake songs? Not hard. Can we go back to talking about love now? Ugh. Drake was shocked and wanted to file for copyright. Bach's music is symmetrical. The road to Wigan Pier, that's about poverty in Northern England. Yes, well, we know all about it. I live in the poorest part of the UK. Don't worry about that. Screw politics. Let's talk about love. Careless Whisper starts playing in the background. I'll make my robot steal perfume from that rich man. That would be the You Smells Good channel, Horace, says Brandon. Extra time today for sure. Climate change. How can Wigan have a pier? It's not on the coast. It's just a place. Could be everywhere though. We need Eugene. No, I want to hear Careless Whisper. Cubed. Yeah, the road to Wigan Pier is fascinating. My favourite is Down and Out in Paris and London, says Nick. Australia, I could never live there for secret reasons, says Boz. You're a criminal on the run. I am expert. The polar bears, the poor polar bears, fuck. The poor polar bears, they would eat you with the greatest of ease. Several reasons, I mean. Bears. Polar bears will live with climate change. They'll just mate with other species. I'm not sure that's possible. They'll recently just found a stingray that mated with a shark. Shit the fucking bed. What? Nature adapts. Enjoy the coming show. You're on thin ice, Nick, says James. Love is useless. I'm still single at the age of 30, says Nick. I'm 38, but I'm quite happily alone. I've been sampling the modern and taste not terribly taken with it, says the Swanwood. The aroma chems bother my eyes too. I think it's more of a rose patchouli, no? I think it's more of a rose patchouli than it is an animalic leather these days. Speaking of nature, has anybody read about the wolves in Chernobyl that are immune to cancer? I don't know that they're immune to cancer. If I got eaten by a polar bear, that would be an honour. You reckon? I reckon it would be painful. Never going to give you up, Rich. Never going to let you down, Mitch. Do you reckon? I hope not. Trippler's about to mate with a shark. You leave that fish alone. Good grief. I need to dehydrate, friends. I'll be back in a minute. If you would like to like the stream, I would be most grateful. Thank you. They're not good. I want to use the toilet. Who won the match? What? What? It was Man City playing? You twit? I'll have to find out. It might be on Amazon. 1-0. Really? Hello, I'm back once again, and it smells of Russian tea in here. How bizarre. How bizarre. Okay, so, whoops, what's going on in here? Play a live stream. Okay, well, we're getting towards the end, my friends. What are people talking about Komodos for, Boz? Why are you talking about Komodos, you strange man? Triplet sauce shape of water, eh? I'll always love those around me. I suppose they have a good genetic mutation. I'm 42 and alone. I'm about to mate with a shark. Does anybody remember the soldier meme when he says, I need more bullets? Oh man, getting eaten by an orca will be super honor. What? If anybody wants to be eaten by a great white, come surfing in North California, it'll be an honor. Orcas are amazing. No offense to sharks, but I don't think I would feel that honor to be eaten by one of those. I'm sure the sharks won't take offense. I'd like to have a close look at a blue whale, says Brody. You leave them alone. What about getting eaten by a vegan? Unlikely. Which animal would you most like to be eaten by? Stop that. Rich Rich would be honoured to get eaten by a duck. I am a duck. Oh, cool, man. Let's go ducks. Leave the ducks alone. Can I drown in pure oud oil instead? You knock yourself out, mate. Do what you like. Could drown in Oris, but in Nepal they chop the dead and beat them to vulture feet. Yes, a sky burial. I've heard of that. It's pretty grim. Can't drown in Oris, but be eaten by an orca. Not at the same time. I'm getting into NHL and they'll probably be my team as I have family in Toronto. A bit late tonight. Welcome, Stuart Mabe. How are you? Being eaten by rats would be awful and possibly the worst. Ew. Right, you're all gross. Stop that. Why are you doing this? Okay. It's been a lively stream. I need to stop talking about these political things because they do me tits in. And yet I do talk about them a lot. Somebody made that point. I think it was Sandra. Sandra made that point the other day. She was like, for somebody who doesn't like talking about politics and philosophy, you don't have to talk about politics and philosophy a lot. When are you usually live, Mitch? Just got here, says the Theoryalist. 2 hours late. Unlucky. When am I usually live? How do you not know this by now? But Mitch, which animal? Which animal what? Duck. Scent of the day is feeling agile, says Nick. Says Stuart, sorry. I have the feeling agile that you sent me here. Did you ever go back to that shop, Stuart? Oof. Experiment seems to be going well. Oh, excuse me. Which animal do you want to get eaten by? Duck? Nick, who's your NFL team? I'd rather not get eaten by an animal, if I'm honest. Galen would probably eat us. I'd be a tasty morsel. No, I won't do a Liverpool accent. Not at all. No, not yet. Been working also a lot recently, so not had the chance. No problemo. Which experiment? I have so many, says Oris. Oris doing a lot of experiments. Okay. 2 hours tonight, friends. Two hours. And that is me done. I am going. Look out for people who buy subscribers, like Miles Sense. He buys subscribers, he buys views. It was terrible to see. He didn't have to do it. But he did, which is sad. I wasn't going to say anything, but I decided to because that shit should be called out no matter who does it. And no matter why. We're going to call out Max 40. We should also call out other people. So, on that note, my friends, I will leave you all. I am going. It has been a good stream. I have enjoyed it. I will hopefully do a video tomorrow. Who was buying likes? Nobody was buying likes. Miles Sense, Milosh, who has commented on this channel a few times, came on to say that he came onto this chat and told us that he was going to came onto this chat and told us that he was doing a live stream one day, which wasn't a great idea if you wanted to stay on my good side, but there we are. He bought some views on one of his videos and forgot to buy the likes that goes along with it. 24,000 views with 55 likes. Not smart. Also, one day turned up with 5,000 subscribers when the day before he had about less than 1,000, I think. Strange. Silly. Silly behaviour. Anyway, I'm off. I will see you all again soon. Good night, everyone.